Ukrainian officials say that the number of children abducted by Russia since the start of the war now stands at more than 19,000. Few have made it back home. DW's Aya Ibrahim went to Ukraine to speak to one of those who did.
Steps on a path to recovery. Every day, 16-year-old Volodymyr makes the 20-minute walk from his village home in southern Ukraine to this sports field. Exercising helps him cope.
Sports give me confidence that I will never drink alcohol or smoke. I live a healthy lifestyle. It gives me self-confidence. For example, if someone insults a girl, I could stand up for her.
When the war broke out, Volodymyr was attending a boarding school nearby. His mother passed away and his father was unable to take care of him, he tells me. He, along with his little brother, 13 other students, and the school director, were waiting to be evacuated. But their town soon fell to the Russians, and it was them who came for the children instead.
I was not only afraid for my little brother, I was afraid for all the children. I was frightened that suddenly there might be shelling and the basement where we were hiding would collapse on us. I was afraid for everyone.
Initially, Russian forces holding them kept them in the building. But when they found out the school director was planning to escape with the children, the group was moved. First to occupied Ukrainian territory, and then to a study camp in Russia.
There were some children who were pro-Russian and didn't want to return to Ukraine. I was friends with some who wanted to return to Ukraine.
Volodymyr and the other children completely disappeared. His uncle was worried sick.
We didn't know where they were or what had happened to them. I only heard some rumors that someone had seen them somewhere, but there was no accurate information.
A year later, Roman was contacted by a Ukrainian volunteer group saying that his nephews had been rescued along with the other children and had been taken to Tbilisi, Georgia. The details of that rescue, we are told, have to be kept secret, as the group hopes to do it again for some of the other children still in Russian captivity.
They were standing right next to me. I could touch them. After such a long time, I could finally see them again. I can't describe how I felt. They're my soulmates, my soulmates. Now, they are not as cheerful as they used to be. They've become a little more withdrawn. They still have the fear from when they were sitting in the basement when they were taken out of Ukraine by the Russians. The trace of this remained on their souls.
The forcible deportation of children like Volodymyr and his brother is a potential war crime that could even qualify as genocide. Russian officials claim they are rescuing Ukrainian children from war. The International Criminal Court in The Hague has, however, issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Putin in connection with the abductions. For now, Volodymyr wants to put this behind him and hopes the future will be better.
I want to become a tour guide and see the world, or something like that.
Well, I'm joined now by Mykola Kuleba in Kyiv. He is the founder and director of the NGO Save Ukraine. Save Ukraine regularly organizes rescue missions to return deported children from Russia back to their homes in Ukraine. Mr. Kuleba, it's good to have you with us. We understand the delicate nature of these operations. We also understand the realities, the risks here. We're talking about life and death. Could you talk us through the difficulties? How hard is it to bring these children home?
Thank you so much. Today, Save Ukraine rescued 413 children from Russia and occupied territories, and 94 of these children are orphans. We face numerous obstacles, not only in identifying these children in Russia and occupied territories, but especially in communicating with them and returning them to Ukraine. It is practically challenging to find orphans or children taken from orphanages and family-based care. Our team of investigators searches for these children using both open and closed sources, determining their whereabouts and tracking their movements. It is extremely difficult to find children placed in Russian orphanages or Russian families, and nearly impossible to bring them back today.
Okay.
And our goal is to find more kids and return them to their native country.
Mr. Kuleba, what do the children that you're able to bring back home to Ukraine, what did they tell you about their time in abduction, about the time that they were kidnapped?
All of them telling horrible stories, because indoctrination of Ukrainian children is a central part of Russia's plan to annihilate the Ukrainian national nation and destroy their future. Children in occupied areas in Russia are forced to go to Russian schools where the Ukrainian language is forbidden. They are also forced to sing a Russian national anthem every day, listen to political propaganda, and in many cases, the kids are militarized to eventually fight against Ukraine. And can you imagine, it's more than 1 million children who stays on occupied territories or in Russia, and both with the families or without families. And that's why it's genocide, because they totally want to erase their identity.
Yeah, I mean, you're correct. It's impossible to imagine what these children must go through, this forced assimilation. How difficult is it then for the children when they come home to reintegrate into their previous lives?
We have a special rehabilitation program up to 1 year. After we return child, we place to our rehabilitation center and provide support with our psychologists. We have more than 1,000 places in our Hope and Healing Center or modular houses program after reunification children with their relatives. But we have a lot of orphans, and we have to provide rehabilitation and find a foster family for these kids and provide support. But many of them exhausted, frightened, and neglected. And that's why we have to return their life. It's they children, they want to live normal life, and we are helping them to return to this life.
And I know you wish that we lived in a world where there was no need for the services that you are providing. What needs to be done to prevent these abductions of children in war zones from happening in the first place?
First of all, we have to stop this injustice war. We need support of all countries. And you can find on my T-shirt and names of German organizations who always with us. We are all Ukrainians, and Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Germany who supporting us with our rehabilitation. It's a great support. We need more humanitarian support and more rehabilitation, mental health support for our children and families. And first of all, we must strengthen our voices to condemn these acts on every international platform, because this is injustice war, this is genocide, and what Russia's doing, it's a crime, it's a war crime.
Mykola Kuleba with Save Ukraine. Mr. Kuleba, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us. I'm sure that there are many people around the world who wish you 100% success. Thank you.
Thank you.